Okay, we're going to stop. Do me a favor, give your role play partner. We clap loud here. Give your role play partner. Round of applause. Thank you. Alright, that's it. Let's wrap up here. What are you noticing about the second time we've done a role play? What's kind of naturally happening? You're noticing
Getting better.
Yeah, you're getting more confident, and confident with tone of voice and your body language. So, nice work. Outstanding. So, as promised, we're going to go to page 6 and 7. All I want you to do at the top of page 6, after you offer a solution, create a problem, we want to create a specific need. So at the top of page 6 and at the top of page 7, write down create a specific need, please. Create a specific need. So we're going to read the first paragraph only, but tonight one of the assignments will be to read through, and we'll practice. Don't role play with friends, family, mom, dad. In fact, I might mess it up. Why? Because you don't know how to.
It's part of the ladder.
It's part of the ladder.
Yeah.
You don't know how to compare, and you also don't know prices yet. So don't. This is simply just to read through tonight. But first paragraph, Miss Eden, Mrs. Jones, you can.
Mrs. Jones, you can buy individual pieces, but most customers agree that over a lifetime, sets are much better value. It's important to have the right tool for the right situation because of safety and efficiency. We have two larger set options for customers who love to cook, called the Ultimate and Signature. But I'm going to start with the pieces in our basic set, which is the most popular. It's called the Homemaker Plus 8. It has the minimum number of tools to do 100% of the jobs in your kitchen as efficiently as possible. It's the best value for the average family, and it starts with your...
Okay, and if you take a look up here, the Homemaker is the set right there in front of you, right in the middle. Right in front, like physically right here in front of you guys. This one. This is the set if you have to cook. What does that mean again? If you have...
Like basics, you have kids.
You have kids, family, okay? That gets you in and out of the kitchen. That's our most popular set because everyone has to cook. If you're showing a Mac customer, they at least have to cook. And here are all the tools listed out. And we're going to practice this tomorrow, okay? And I'm going to give you the nicknames of all the knives before you get out of here. The set above that, if you like to cook, is called the Signature. It's the same exact set. That's the same exact set, except for 3 extra knives. And here they are. I'll explain those tomorrow. Because if you like to cook, which means what? You have to cook, but once a month you like to have a party or throw down? Okay. It's got 3 more knives, which you'll need if you do that kind of stuff. And it also has 2 more of the table knives. Instead of 8, it has 10. And you can also upgrade to steak knives instead of just the normal table knives, which are awesome, but sometimes people like the traditional look of a steak knife, so they'll upgrade to those instead. You can do that with this set. And then the people who love to cook, we have the Complete, which is the Homemaker pieces if you have to cook. It's got all the accessory tools, and instead of 10, it's got 12 of the steak knives or the table knives. Okay. One more time. Have to cook, like to cook, and absolutely love to cook. You got it. Cool. All right. So let me give you very quickly, next to each of the tools, and we'll practice this tomorrow, where it says the name, I'm going to have you write down the nickname that you're going to explain to the customer. Okay. The first one's called the Air Knife. And I know it's already in there, but just if you could write down next to paring knife, write down Air Knife. Next to the trimmer, right, it's for small stuff. So the nickname is Small Stuff. That knife is for small stuff. I'll show it to you. Right? See the Air Knife? Take a look, everybody, because you always cut things up in the air. Okay. The trimmer, okay, for small stuff. Next knife, what's it called? Right, for sandwiches. That's the nickname. For sandwiches. Mm-hmm. Right, it's very flexible, so it gets to the bottom of the jar. Next tool is the Petite Carver. This is the meat knife. The meat knife. Next tool is the turning fork. This is your serving piece to serve food, right? This is your serving piece. Next one is the butcher knife. This is the protector because it's the heaviest knife in the set. and it protects anything from getting damaged. Like frozen food, bone, you use this knife. Okay? It's the protector. Next is the Petit Chef. This is the veggie chopper. This is the veggie chopper because you just chop vegetables, celery, carrots, onions. Turn to the next page. You've seen this before. This is a slicer. What's this for?
Bread.
It's the bread knife. Good Shan. Do you cook?
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell. It's a slicer. It's the bread knife. And we have the master carving set. The nickname is for holidays and barbecue. This is for holidays. You think of Thanksgiving, right? Passover, Hanukkah, Christmas, all those holidays where you eat a lot of food. And it's also barbecue. Holidays and barbecue. Table knives. Next to the table knives, write down this is the everyday knife. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, every meal you eat, you pull out a table knife. Or, if you want to upgrade, just kidding. You pull out the steak knife. Same knife, same function, one just has more of an edge. And just this one looks like a traditional steakhouse knife. This is a more modern table knife. Both are great. Okay, so far so good. So we're going to role play that tomorrow, but tonight one of your assignments is to read through that at least once. So far so good, pretty easy. Okay. Now, what I'd like you to do is turn to a brand new sheet in your paper, on your notebook rather, and I want to go to the final assignment here and get you out of here pretty early. So right now we're supposed to end at 5:30. If we do it right, everybody, we can get out 30 minutes early. Is that cool? So thank you. It's not my fault. I want to talk to you about your initial customer list because this weekend your fast start starts on Saturday when you get out of here. Those first appointments start counting towards your contest. When you think of a grand opening, like a store, for example, what are some things that come to mind when you think grand opening? What comes to mind when you hear grand opening? What's the first thing that pops in your head?
Brand new.
Brand new, yeah. You'll be brand new this weekend. What else are some other things you think about?
Lower price.
Yeah, lower sales, discounts, deals. We're going to give you sales, discounts, and deals this weekend. What else do you think about? Do you think a small amount or a large amount of people? Yeah, you think about inviting everyone. So let's say you had a store. I don't know. Let's say it's a furniture store, but you had the best furniture in the world. Wouldn't you invite everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you have confidence to invite everyone you know? Why?
That's a good product.
Yeah,
Furniture is
because it's the best furniture. Now, what if you had like the third or fourth place furniture? Not as much. If you had the worst furniture, you'd probably hide from your family. Okay? But you have the best product of its kind, so who should you at least let know about it?
Friends and
Everybody,
family.
friends and family, everybody. You shouldn't even worry about whether you think they're going to buy. In fact, if you're doing it smart business, you don't think about who you're going to buy or who's going to buy. You just invite everyone because you never know. And let's say someone who does purchase or they don't purchase, if it's still that good, what will they do when they leave? They'll talk about it. See, most businesses and practices and any type of professionals usually start successfully with friends and family. My father was a physician. He had 2 private practices, and who were his first patients? Well, his immediate family, and then his friends and family. Those are his first patients. I have a friend who's in the financial industry. Guess who his first financial clients were? His parents and all their friends. And it's the same thing. How many of you have parents that are self-employed or have their own business? Okay. Who were their first? What do they do? You mind me asking?
She's a real estate agent, my mom.
That's a prime example, okay? So it's very common in our society, at least for successful businesses, to start with friends and family. But here's the key that not everyone has that we do. It's only really successful if your product is really good. And we don't have just a good product. Jordan? Absolute best. That's it. You're the absolute best guy today. Absolute best. So what I want to do is talk about how do you come up with as many customers as possible. Don't think about who's going to buy and really get the best list. So we're going to do that right now. What I'd like you to do on your sheet of paper, I'd like you to write down the 4 gears of calling. Let me teach you the 4 different types of people I'm going to teach you how to call while you work with us in Cutco. Let me teach you about the 4 different types of people you'll be able to call. And the first one you already know. Who are the first customers you're going to have? Friends and family. I put that as gear number 1. If you're driving a car, you put it into first gear. It's the easiest gear. It's also the easiest people to sell. Why are they the easiest people to sell to?
They support you.
They support you, they love you, and they already know you, so they just want to see how good the product is. Okay. It's easier to get appointments, so forth. Now, when you're driving a car, anyone drive manual? Like anyone know how to drive stick or wall enough? Like you could get thrown into a situation and figure it out. Okay,
Yeah.
that's me. So you're in first gear, and you hit the clutch, and you go to fourth gear. No, you're laughing, right? If you did that, what happens to the car?
Transmission brake.
You'll either screw up your transmission or you grind the gear. Bad news for your car. Okay. Here with our company, we don't go from friends and family to all of a sudden complete strangers. That's the same thing. Not only does that grind the car, when you go from friends and family to people you don't know, it hurts the sales because it's a bad transition. What's an easier transition? Gear number 2, what we call acquaintances. Now, let me define that. Acquaintances are people who you know of or they know of you. I'll say it again. Acquaintances are people you know of, not really well, not friends and family. You know of them, or they would know of you. I want everyone to think of 2 people in your life, and I want you to tell me who those 2 people are that would be considered an acquaintance, like what they are and who they are in relationship to your family. So give me some examples of an acquaintance. Who would be an acquaintance in your life?
Your aunt's neighbor.
Okay, so ready? Neighbors of friends and family. Good one. That you've maybe seen here and there or know of. Who else would be an acquaintance?
Classmate.
Your classmate. Why? Because let's say Mike and I went to Douglas together. We've hung out a few times, and I went to his house once. And we've tied his mom. I don't really know his mom like that. I don't know the parents that well, but she knows of me or I know of her. That's an acquaintance. That's already a ton of customers right there. Think of all the people that you know that you don't know their parents. Those are customers. Give me some other examples of acquaintances. Teachers or old teachers. Now, some of you do have teachers that you have a good relationship with. I would put those under gear number 1. But me personally, I had like a handful, but most of my teachers were, I haven't seen you since 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. But it's really good to connect because they definitely know of you and you know of them. How about mom's coworkers? How about not the best neighbor, but the other neighbors that you kind of just, wave to when they're cutting their grass kind of deal. Give me a couple more. This is really important to expand your list here. I'll teach you how to call those people on Monday. Give me some more examples. How about place of worship? What does that mean? Church, synagogue, temple. Like for my church, I go to church. I know some people really well, like I would call them friends and family. The rest, we're just affiliates. Okay? That leads me to the 3rd gear, which are directories and association. That would be like, a directory is a book of names and addresses of members. So, what are some groups that have directories associated with the groups, where you would get all the addresses and phone numbers? Give me some groups that have a directory. Businesses. So if your mom's a
Schools.
real estate agent, all the that's a big customer list. You went to a certain high school, like university school.
Yeah, we
You
have
have
a book.
you have a book,
Have one
and
in my house. Yeah.
that's it. Okay. What else? Other associations, place of worship, churches and synagogues sometimes. Your parents, and any of you that did extracurricular activity, all the hockey teams you played on, all the different rec leagues, those are directories you want to grab a hold of tonight. And then last but not least are recommendations. Now recommendations are really good. They're great customers. They're just not the gear you want to go to after you see friends and family. In fact, when you show friends and family Cutco, they're going to recommend you to a few people who are recommendations that you don't know. Most of the people that your friends and family recommend you to will actually be what? People you kind of know, or they know of you because of your aunt. They know of you because of your best friend's parents. So you're actually not going to see these people, you won't even need to see these people either to the end of the summer, some of you when you go work part-time during the school year, and some of you, you won't even see a single recommendation, you won't have to, until next summer when you come back for another summer of selling, because you have so many customers that you get recommended to here, or if you get a hold of a directory. Okay? Here's what I want to do real quick. Turn to a brand new sheet of paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to create your first list of customers to contact for appointments. And it says here, names list brainstorm. When you think of a brainstorm, I always think of class, and I always think of negative. Like I never really had fun with brainstorms. What's brainstorm? When you think of brainstorm, what do you think of? Ideas, right? And you have to think, right? Okay. I don't want you to think, especially I think Ed made the comment, she goes, yeah, it's about that time. It's close to that time. You guys have been working hard. Yeah, it's close to that time. But what I'll say is brainstorm is when you have to think. I want this to be a brain dump, meaning I don't want you to think. If the name pops into your head, just put the name to the paper. I don't care about if they're a Mac customer just yet, although should they be a Mac customer ideally, right? I don't care if you know the phone number. I don't care if you're comfortable calling them. I don't care if that's a friend and family or it's an acquaintance. Just if the name hits your head, write it down. Do we agree to that? Okay. Here are the rules of the bring down. We're going to take a few minutes to do this. I don't need you to put any phone numbers down on this paper right now. All it is just name hit your head, put it to the paper. Tonight you'll get phone numbers. Number two, it's okay to write down friend's mom. Let's say Eden's my friend from university school. And I've never met her mom, but I know she has family. So I'm going to write down Eden's mom. And at some point, I'm going to teach you how to call them on Monday so you can talk to people who you're affiliated with. Okay? Number three, not just people you're comfortable with. I don't want you to just write down your top 5, top 10. That's easy. I want you to write down anyone, even if, especially if you're not comfortable with them. Here's why. You don't want to pull a Jeff and Kevin. Okay? This Jeff, the one teaching you. When I started selling Cutco, my friend Kevin started selling as well. And I didn't write down my neighbor, Dr. Krupp, because he's kind of a grumpy man. And I was a little nervous to call him, and he was more of an acquaintance, not a friend and family. So I forgot to write him down. Now later I got really good at the job. After my first 10 days, I knew how to call anyone, but I forgot to put him on the list the first day. So Kevin put him down on the list. And a couple days later, Kevin comes in with his order form for a $2,500 order, or I would have made 50%. Half of $2,500 is $1,250. And he walks around waving this order with this big smile on his face, looking right at me. And I knew, as soon as he started smiling, I knew what that face was. And he says, "Oh, Dr. Krupp says hi." How'd the appointment go? Oh, 2,500, pretty fast. Oh, and he said, "Yeah, I thought Jeff was doing this, but he never called me." My fault, right? So, especially if you find yourself saying, "Oh, that's kind of fun," write it down. I'm not going to make you call them this weekend. This is friends and family. But when I teach you, and once you're comfortable, we want to have that person's name down. Next thing, I do want you to put down bundles. Here's what I mean by bundles. My mom was a nurse. I talked about this with you. My mom had a unit where she had like 42 people, 42 nurses in the unit. I don't know their names. I don't know their phone numbers. I would get those tonight. But I know my mom works with 42 nurses. So I put down mom's coworkers, and I put the number of the bundle. Everyone cool with that? Okay. Last thing, don't forget virtual customers. So don't just write down people who live here you can drive to, take the bus to, get a ride to. I want customers in California, other countries, everywhere. Okay? And don't cheat, don't pull out your cell phone yet. So when we do this exercise, before you start, some of you are starting, it's okay, 1 second. We're going to do 4 phases. The first phase, we're going to go off the top of the dome. What does that mean? Yeah, no cell phone to help you. I'm not going to say anything to help you. I just want it to be dead silent. Because right now, this is where you're making money. Every name you write down is potential money in your pocket. The reason I don't want you to talk is because you're going to distract someone. Someone's distracted, they're not writing down a name, they're not making money, so then you're taking their money. So don't take people's money. Dead silent, top of the dome. Then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to do it again. We're going to count how many you get. And then I'm going to give you some thought joggers. The second round, I'm going to actually give you ideas and see what comes to your head. Brain dump, put it down. Third, then I'm going to have you pull out your cell phones and see who you missed. And that's easy. You really don't have to think there. Why? You just scroll. Yeah, okay. And then later tonight, that's tonight, you'll use other people's cell phones. Like who, of course? Parents, boyfriend, girlfriends, your siblings, okay. So turn to a brand new sheet of paper, please. When I say go, pens out. Pen to the paper. Let's make some money. As soon as you hit your head, write it down. Go.
Jeff, I messed up and I did this at the beginning.
See if you can expand. That's not bad. That's not messing up at all. See, I would glance at who you wrote already and see who reminds you.
21 so far.
Okay. So start with those and then see who comes up. Another 2 minutes off the top of the dome. Another 2 minutes. Last minute. Okay, stop real quick. Eyes up here. Get everyone's eyes. And Cheyenne, you good? Okay. So if you take a look, I like that you keep writing. It's good. 10% of you got a little stuck, and that's okay. So you'll notice 10% of you had a lower number, then most of you had a certain average, and some of you just went crazy and couldn't stop writing. Probably Cheyenne, I can tell. You can just see it. Okay. So who had over 20? Who had under 20?
I'm Catholic.
Everyone had more than 10. Okay. Here's the cool thing. Even if you only had, and everyone here has more than 10, even if you only had 10, you can work full-time with us within 10 days. Who knows why? Because if you do 10 appointments, right, regardless of sales, how many recommendations should you average each appointment? Good, Jordan. 5 to 10 is right behind you. 5 to 10. So that means just by doing the appointments, regardless, that's already another 50 to 100 more customers. And then let's say you only showed half of them. That's another under 25 to 2. What happens very quickly?
Very expensive.
Yeah, Jason Sudek was one of my students, originally from Austin, Texas, had just moved to the local area and only knew his grandparents' neighbor, and like one other random person, like friend that they met. I don't know how. Started with 3 people. Within 10 days, he was working full time, and he made over $5,000 that summer. So, just case in point. But all of you have at least 10. Who had 20 or more? Who had 30 or more? 30 exact. So who had under 25 or under? Okay, so ready? Matt, you're the 10%. That's normal. Someone's got to be the 10%. Who had over 50? Not quite, but I didn't give you that much time. Who had over 40? Okay, Cheyenne, how many do you have?
I wrote them kind of in groups
Okay.
of people, but I have like 10 groups, but then within those 10 groups,
So it's probably close to 100 then.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's like the higher one. Now, I want to do the second part. This is where we're going to go to a brainstorm. I'm going to make it really easy for you. I've already put down some ideas to paper, so I want you to read. I'm going to tell you to turn to a certain sheet in your training manual. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you go to the manual, and it's already written out the ideas. So now instead of having to think, this is one less thing you have to think about. So go to page 20. It says top 30 family. I want you to start with that. I want you to write down any immediate family or even distant family you forgot to write down. Immediate or distant that you haven't already written down. Think of every aunt and uncle you can think of that didn't make your sheet already. Think of cousins, extended family. Page 20. Who are all the extended family members you didn't write down already? This shouldn't be any repeats, like these are extra. Who did you not write down yet? All aunts, all uncles, distant, out of area, different states, live in the Caribbean, live in a different country, live in South America, live over on the other side of the world.
Who put it in
Yeah, just write the name down, yeah. This is just another version of your list, yeah. You're starting to feel stuck with family, start to think of who are your family's friends. Not the ones you know well. That's easy. You should have already written them down. I'm talking about acquaintances. Who Who from your uncle that you love have you met? Have you seen at a party? Who from your favorite aunt that you already wrote down have you met? Write those people down next. You can also still put this in the family column. Who are your parents' co-workers that you didn't write down? You can put bundles. Who are some co-workers or their bosses? Or if your parents are the boss, who's their partner or employees? If you're still on a roll, keep going. If you get stuck, on the bottom of page 20, the next section says top 40 of my friends. First one says school. Who are people that you went to school with that even if you've never met the parents, you know they've got parents that are potential customers. I'll teach you how to call those moms. Just write your friend's name down. Or say your friend's mom. Even if it's been a while, even better. The next part, if you're on a roll, keep going. If you're stuck, under page 20, top 40 of my friends, sports, that could also be synonymous with extracurricular. What sports did you play? What clubs were you in? Youth group, church group, synagogue, neighborhood group, pool, neighborhood pool. Start writing down people that come to mind from there. I would say if you played a sport in high school at a varsity level, that's an easy just to start with that team and go backwards. Every coach, every mom that comes to mind, every teammate that comes to mind. Or bundle. This team, how many people in it? This team, how many people in it? If you're on a roll, keep going. If you're stuck, go to page 21. Start thinking about your parents. Who are your parents' friends? The ones that you know well, you probably already wrote down. Who are your parents' friends that you've met here and there? At a party, at an event? Who are some old friends of your parents? If you belong to a church or synagogue, how many people? First, put the people you're very close with, put their actual names down. But then, about how many people are in that synagogue or church? And let's get you a directory. Let's go to the church. Let's go to the synagogue, temple. Let's find you a directory. Write down about how many people are members of that. It's an easy network. And then under page 21, it says neighbors. If you haven't already, of course, you wrote down your close neighbors. Start writing down neighbors that maybe you just pass by, that one husband who's always cutting his grass and you wave, and that's the only thing you know about them. I'll teach you how to go up to the house and say hi as one of the kids in the neighborhood at some point. Not now, but at some point. So write down how many people in your neighborhood. Put that as a bundle. If you're on a roll, keep going. If you're stuck, next one says top 10 siblings, friends, parents. If you have siblings, that's such an easy. My youngest sister, she was a very, very, very prominent soccer player in our town. She played D1 soccer. She's semi-pro, and every soccer team she played on, every one of those coaches has seen Cutco for me, and every one of her team members' moms has seen Cutco for me. So if you have siblings and their friends, who pops to mind? Next to that is top 10 teachers, coaches, and mentors. Same thing. Old principals, old teachers. Old teachers love seeing their students for growing up, being more professional. Okay, and then a couple random ones. Who's your family doctor or dentist? And if you don't have one, who do you know that might be a doctor or dentist? Write them down if you forgot. Now some of you are saying, I don't really know my doctor. I'm going to help you get to know your doctor. I'm going to help you get an appointment with your doctor, and your doctor is a really good customer because they want to help you, and they're probably a Mac Plus. What does that mean?
Money.
Yeah, a little bit more money than normal.
That goes under the
That can
teachers.
go on your normal list if you want. Doesn't, yeah, whatever. Your pediatrician, your parents' doctor, or dentist, or someone that you know is one of these. Same thing goes with a lawyer. Who in the family or friends are attorneys, or do you have a family lawyer or accountant? A big one. Who does your mom's hair? If your mom is spending a couple $100 a month, or your dad's spending $20 a week or every couple of weeks, who do you know that just recently had a new child, purchased a new home, or just got a new job? And then the last one, who do you know that's involved with the military, the police, or the fire department? Another 30 seconds. Okay, we're going to stop early. What did you notice once you had ideas, either on paper or up on the television? What did you notice? The difference between stage 1 and stage 2. Harder or easier? Easier, because you don't have to think, right? Notice how some things I said are put up. Some of you are like, I don't know anyone in that category. And then, like for example, the last one I just noticed. Do you know someone in the military, police, or fire department?
Ex-military.
Okay, someone popped up right away when I said this. He goes, oh, I saw that. When I said something over here, I think it was parents' friends. Who do you know that's not, you're really not friendly with them, but your parents are. I saw you write 2 or 3 down. It's different for different people. That's why these are important. So the third phase, and this is really important. We're almost done. We're going to be done about 30 minutes early thanks to your hard work. I'm going to ask you, I know that you probably have gotten a lot of text messages and, hey, what's going on? What are you doing tonight? I understand that. I'm just going to ask that under the banner of being really professional, let's stay laser focused, let's stay 100% engaged. If you have your cell phone, please pull your cell phone out. Please avoid the need to respond. And I'm going to ask that you go right to your contacts. You have plenty of time to Insta Snap and Chatgram your friends back. I know, I actually Insta Chat and Snapgram. Go to your contacts, start at A, and I want you to just slowly scroll, and you're bound to run into many people you forgot to write down. Either someone who's your age, whose parents you didn't write down, or an actual adult Mac customer. So just go through A. If you forgot to write them down, put them down. Remember, don't think about who the better customers are. Don't think if they're Mac. Just if they hit your brain and they have a family that's 30 and older and owns a home, just put them down.
Wait. What do you call it?
What's that?
You can pay for the way to go.
You have the total?
So it's 7,500.
How many?
7,500. 7,600.
I like our discount.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Who did you forget to write down? And if you're that person right now, and you're doing one of these, they're not going to buy. Oh, they're not going to buy. Just telling you, put them down. They're going to buy if you do it the right way. You don't want to prejudge. Just put them down. Give another 30 seconds. Okay, stop. Do me a favor. Rough estimate. I know the bundles are gonna take the number way higher. Give me a rough count. What do you have total? And some of you it's under 50. Some of you it's well over 100. Some of you might be even bigger than that with the bundles. So give me a rough count.
40.
62, 90,
40.
90,
About 55-ish.
70.
Okay, and that's without the last phase. What's the last phase?
They were talking about that.
Yeah, well, think of it this way. How easy was it compared to first phase to have your cell phone,
Very easy.
right? And how many actual Mac customers are in your cell phone? A lot or a few? Now, the parents are,
Yeah.
okay. But whose phone is chock full of Mac customers?
Okay.
All right, let's list those. Let's list up who you're gonna find tonight. Ready? Who's the easiest cell phone? Most obvious one.
Mom.
Mom and dad. Okay. Some of you, if your parents aren't together, or sometimes not home at the same time, just make sure you get at least one of them, and then at some point get the other one maybe tomorrow morning. But work hard to get the phone numbers from there. Okay. 2, who would be a really good cell phone to get more Mac customers or names of people whose parents are Mac customers. Okay, your favorite aunts and uncles. Okay. How about grandma, grandpa? I'm going somewhere with this, by the way. Who else is really good? How about your best friend's mom? Okay. If you have a significant other. Any other ones? My last one is favorite neighbors. Okay. Now, how many of you already know like the best 2 or 3 for you? Like this is the 2 or 3 that I need to go to right away tonight, and they have the majority. And it's different for everyone. Who are your top 2?
My parents.
Oh, both parents. Who are yours?
Parents, grandparents.
Parents and grandparents. Who are your top 2?
Parents and best friends.
See, it's different for everyone. We don't know, but get them. Okay. How funny it is. This is also not just who your best people to get recommendations and numbers from. These are some of your best 5. Okay, so it kind of goes hand in hand because not only when you see them will they give you these sales, but they'll also give you lots of customers too. Okay, you got it. Good. So your assignment tonight is to find phone numbers so that tomorrow when I teach you how to make your first 5 appointments tomorrow night, you're going to set up 5 to 10 appointments from the office before you go home. Then you're going to set up 5 to 10 tomorrow night before you go out. And then 5 to 10 in the morning. And that way you'll have your magic number of at least how many? What's the magic number, everybody? Yeah, you'll have that at least minimum. And if you want to be a high flyer, you can go higher than that. Okay? So go home using your cell phone. If you have a directory, like for example, I had a church and a neighborhood directory. Just grab that. You obviously don't have to write those numbers down. And that counts for your assignment. Okay, how many of you already have a directory in mind? I'm just going to tell you, get the university school directory. Do you have any hockey directories?
I have my own school.
There you go. Okay. Cool. And it doesn't have to be from here because you can do virtual appointments. Okay, you got it. So eyes up here and we'll wrap up. Just need 5 minutes of your time. So the average person here had, I would say, between 30 and 50. So I'm pretty confident that if everyone worked on it, you could come up with between 50 and 100. Okay? That's what I expect. Bare minimum. The minimum assignment for you to finish and be okay coming in tomorrow is to have 25 to 30 phone numbers. That's like the come hell or high water, I'm going to have that. Okay? I know everyone can get that, no problem. Even if you just used your cell phone, I'm pretty sure you can get that. If for some reason you feel like you can't get 25 to 30, I just want to be very clear and say this while everyone's making eye contact so we know. If for some reason you don't feel confident you can get this before you leave, just talk to me or Pal before you leave, and we'll work something out, and we're okay with your assignment. Otherwise, the assignment is to get at least how many? 25 to 30. That's like just to walk through the door. But what do they tell you in regards to assignments? If you want to do better, what should you do? Yeah, I'm expecting 50 to 100 across the board. This is like if something came up tonight, you went home, mom sprung something on you, you didn't know last minute, moms do that a lot. And you got to get your assignment done to walk through the door, 25 to 30. When you come in tomorrow, we start at 11:30, so arrivals between 11 and 11:15. When you come in, I'll say, hey, Eden, how are you? Good, how was your night? Awesome. All right, well, let me take a look at those numbers, and Pal's going to check off that you got the same amount, right amount of numbers. It's going to have to be at least 25 to 30, but it should be 50 to 100. And if you're going to be a rock star, go over 100. That was Kayla, over 100. Janine, over 100. And they hit their first promotion 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours. Okay? So I don't care as long as you're over 25 to 30 minimum, but I am expecting higher. And if you want to be a high flyer, definitely shoot for that 100 mark. Directories count. So if I have a directory from a synagogue or church and there's 100, then that's already my assignment. But see, the lazy thing would be to do is what? Just stop. Oh, I got a directory. Keep working on those names. Okay? And you don't have to do it all at once. I would say you can do it around things tonight, do some of it tomorrow morning, but come in. This is the most important assignment. I'll go backwards before we wrap up. If I told you there was an assignment that if you put a lot of work into it, you could have as much money as you want, make as much money as you want, whenever you wanted, do whatever you want with the people you wanted to do it with, and never have to worry about money for the next 3 years guaranteed, but you work hard on it, and everyone said, yes, this is the assignment. Okay? And please don't be that one person. Every summer, there's always one person. Every summer. There's always one person who doesn't work hard on it. They don't talk to us. And they wonder why their first weekend wasn't good. Like, every time. Just don't be that person. Cool? So I'm counting on you to be 100% engaged and work hard on that. So let me give you and wrap you up with some assignment and final thoughts here. Your best customers are called MAC customers. Remember that. What's the M stand for?
Married.
Yeah, why is married better than single? They have kids and how many incomes? Two or one really good one. If they have two really good incomes, what's that called? MAC plus. Okay. MAC plus. Like for example, 2 nurses, it's a MAC plus. 2 doctors, MAC plus. Or one spouse works and the other one doesn't have to do anything, and they have nice thing. Okay, you get it. Over 30, right? That's of course important. Now, if you know people under 30 that own a home, put them down. We're not going to show them right away, but at least put them down so you have the reference. And of course, owning a home is important. These are your traditional families that we sell our Cutco to. Also, in regards to advancement, I just want to let you know that in our office we have a special group called Key Staff. It's the VIP members of our team. And in fact, I'm going to give you a letter right now. You don't have to read it now. One of your assignments is just read through this letter. We're looking for people to be part of our Key Staff program. This is a special invitation group that gets extra attention. If you're an athlete, this is the team captains. Okay? They make the most money because they always get the most attention. It's based on work ethic, not performance, but these people do get the highest performance. So if you're into individual and extra coaching, if you like getting more attention, if you feel like you want to get that extra edge, definitely ask about Key Staff. This is important. I really am excited for you guys to get you to Dirty 30 level. But it all starts with your first 10 days. So if you have anything that's really conflicting your schedule in the next 10 days that you can move, like there's certain things you can't move. Like for example, for me, like faith. Like if you're in church, synagogue, you don't move that, then don't move that. I respect that. But if there's something like I was going to go to a party downtown Miami and go at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, if that's something, you're like, I could do that the next weekend. But I could do another 2 appointments instead. I'm just telling you, for your first 10 days, first weekend, just see what you can move because it's going to be worth it when you look at your bank account and you look at your promotions. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. And last but not least, we are going to be inviting people for the conference, that SC1 conference on June 14th. Huge deal. And if you get invited, that means we're expecting you to have a gigantic summer, maybe 5-figure club, scholarship, maybe Leadership Academy. And this is based on what you show in the next couple of days, including an assignment tonight. All right? Before we wrap up, what were some of the biggest takeaways that gave you confidence today in training? What are some things from training you liked? What gave you a lot of confidence?
Seven steps.
Did it clarify everything?
Yes.
Okay. What else?
Presentation.
Role play and seeing the presentation. And the content, yeah, of course, and the way it's structured. Work hard tonight. The following people I do need to see before you leave. If I can find my clipboard. Oh, you do. You stole it. Tomorrow we start at 11:30, so vector time means 11:15, 11:15. Tomorrow morning we're gonna have more students who couldn't make it today make up what we did today, but they're gonna do it in a really short fashion. Meaning, like everything we did today, they're gonna do in like an hour and a half. Now, they're not role playing, they're not doing a lot of the practice part. So if I pair you up with someone tomorrow in the morning, it means I think you're really good so far, and I want you to help that person become confident. So can you role play and support that person? Is that cool?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, and I know you guys will do a great job. I need to see Eden, Michael, Luis, and Jordan before you leave, okay? If you have any questions with the assignment, meaning you're not sure if you can hit this, totally cool as long as you talk to that young lady right there. If you have any conflicts or any just questions or concerns, talk to Pal and she'll take care of you. Otherwise, buenas noches, good night. Work hard on that assignment. And we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's money making day. And remember, this day was the hardest day of training. Tomorrow's way more interactive, a lot more fun. We're gonna have a lot more breaks, and make sure you bring food tomorrow. And or dollars. Okay. You're good. Oh, can you pass those up? Pal, make a list. We need to collect those in the beginning. So, can you hand those sheets that you filled out this morning? And you guys are good to go, other than the 4 I asked to stick around.
Do you want the clipboard too?
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you.
Cheyenne, nice job today. Work hard. Matthew, nice job today. Nice job, young man. Keep it up. And the 4 of you, just stick around for 2 seconds.